Welcome to Alavi's podcast. I'm your host, Swetha Nagasundaram from Alavi.ai, and I have a very special guest with me today, fashion expert Lisa Allen, owner of Freez Clothing, which is one of Australia's fun and affordable clothing brands. So Lisa first opened her first brick and mortar store in New South Wales in 1993. With a background in fashion as a sales rep, Lisa then moved on to start her own brand, and is now a proud business owner that runs a retail store as well as a wholesale one. So she also mentors small business owners and works very closely with them during their production phase, and guides them throughout their business journey as well. So if you're looking for some inspiration to start your own online brand or are wanting to scale your online business, this podcast is for you. So Lisa, we're thrilled to have you here with us today. And just to start things off, could you tell us a little bit about Freez Clothing? Where did the brand all start? And what was the journey like moving from, a brick and mortar store to the e-commerce space?
Freez has been around for 28 years. I fell into the business whilst I was a sales rep. I bought my first bricks and mortar store and went from 1 to 4 stores over a couple of years and downsized that to have a family in 2000. In about 2005, the online space was just starting to become a thing. So we decided to dip our toe in and launched an online store. Obviously, back then it was in its infancy, and the whole online space was very different to how it is now. And it just slowly evolved over time. And obviously, it's taken a long time to evolve, but it's certainly a changing landscape all the time.
Absolutely. So that makes a lot of sense. And so what would you say are some key factors, business owners need to consider while making that shift to the online world?
I think if you're in a bricks and mortar store, there's still a place for that. Not everyone needs to be online. I think you definitely have to have a small presence online, but people still like to go into stores and touch and feel products and try them on. I mean, we get numerous messages and emails asking us where they can go and buy the products they don't want to buy online. So I still think there's definitely a space for bricks and mortar, but nowadays, I mean, even a bricks and mortar has to have an online presence. So, it's much harder, I think, nowadays for small business owners to navigate everything.
Definitely. So what would you say was the biggest challenge you faced in your role or your business, even this year or the last, especially during the pandemic? And how did you tackle that? And also, what are your thoughts on the impact on e-commerce businesses post-pandemic?
I think it was the uncertainty of not knowing what was going to happen, what was going on. But I think it became very evident in the beginning that the online space actually grew. And I think there was people, middle-aged through to 70 and 80-year-olds that had never shopped online before, and they were suddenly forced to because they were locked at home. So I think there was this huge growth of new customers navigating the whole online space. So it's actually really exciting. And I think the online space grew for a lot of people, surprisingly, because in the beginning, we were obviously all concerned how that was going to look.
All right. So also it's almost been 2 years since the pandemic first emerged. So what are you doing today with your brand to grow e-commerce and, succeed in 2022, 2023, and so on?
Yes, I definitely feel more confident with e-commerce and online. I think, like I said, more people have embraced it, more confident. And plus for us with our wholesale brand, now stores are reopening post-pandemic, starting to get really busy again. So we're looking for growth in that area. We're currently in the process of launching new websites for both platforms. So that's exciting. We're looking forward to getting that up and running. We're changing from WordPress to Shopify. So really looking forward to all the new challenges that come with that.
Wonderful. So you started Freez Clothing in 1993, and since then, obviously, fashion trends, consumer behavior, technology has obviously changed very much. So as a business owner, how did you keep up with these changes and continue to learn in order to stay on top of things? We'd love to hear some of your tips as well.
Yeah, I think for many years, I just flew by the seat of my pants. I honestly, I look back and think I don't know how, but I got to a few years ago when I was feeling very lost with the business, and I looked to get a business coach. I sort of had a good look around at all the different things on offer. So I did. I got myself a fantastic business coach, and that was a game changer for me as a business owner. It was just something I'd never done before, and it was amazing. So it really helped us grow our business. So it gave us a definite game plan, and also from her network of people she works with, we fell into some amazing marketing people and recommendations. So it was a definite game changer. I think for any new business, it's very hard because you have a limited budget, but I would definitely recommend shopping around. I mean, obviously there's just some things you're not going to be experienced in or know. So you need to get quality people that you can work with and get a definite business plan in place. I think that's really important nowadays.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. And I think people is definitely a key factor for businesses, especially in the growth stage. So nowadays, a vast majority of consumers obviously use digital channels to view, engage with, and even purchase from a fashion brand. So how important do you think digital marketing is for the fashion industry, and how do you use it to stay ahead of competition?
I think it's paramount. I mean, you just have to have it. And it's just changing all the time. I mean, obviously with the Facebook and Apple rollout, it's all going to change again. And I think, a lot of businesses have been reliant on Facebook ads. That's changing. So, I mean, it's almost like you have to dip your toes in everything. You've got to have your email marketing, your Instagram, your TikTok. You've just got to be doing a little bit of everything. And I don't think there's any proven formula that works. It's just a matter of trial and error, and it just never ends. Like I don't think there's a moment that you can sit back and go, wow, that's working. It's just today it's working, but tomorrow it may not. You need to be posting new content all the time. And I think that's your biggest battle, is getting content. I mean, we're very lucky because we do regular photo shoots, so we do get some fresh content, but yeah, it's just that continuous trying to think of what can I post today and all that kind of thing. So it's certainly very challenging, much more challenging than years ago, just having a store. So
all right, brilliant. So this has obviously been an amazing discussion with you. So just to tie things up and wrap it up, our last question to you is, what is one piece of advice that you would like to share with those that would like to start their own e-commerce brand?
I would say definitely research your product, work out what's going to make you stand out from the crowd. I've seen so many businesses that come into the industry and just basically copy someone else's business plan. And of course they don't last. I heard a saying once, you live by price, die by price. And that's so true. Some people just think by selling things cheaply, it's going to make their business, but that's opposite. It's actually very costly having an online business, even though people say, oh, you're not paying rent. But, by the time you've got your returns and your postage and all of that, you really need to have your margins. So researching your product, if you're buying and selling product from a supplier, you need a really good relationship with your supplier. You need to know they're going to prioritize you, especially at the moment with the supply chain the way it is, really hard to get product. So you need to know that if you sell out of your product, you can back it up by getting more. Definitely, any new business starting out obviously cannot afford to employ everyone, but interview people, talk to different marketing agencies, work out what your business is going to need, what you really need to put your money into. There's no one marketing person out there that can do everything. And anyone who tells you they can is just not true. You just learn the hard way. So I definitely think, look at the marketing aspect of what's going to make you money. And that's what you need to outsource initially, and really research that person. I feel like there's so many, dishonest people around. So you really need reviews, and anyone really good is booked out or hard to get in with. There's a reason. So definitely research all that. Your product obviously has to be tried and tested, and you just have to be prepared. Nobody's an overnight success. it's not all going to happen straight away. So you need to know that it's going to take time to build up. And obviously you can't be reliant on just that income coming in, because you're not going to survive. So you have to have a game plan around that. But yeah, it's hard. It's really hard being in business. It's not for the faint-hearted, but it's also very rewarding.
Definitely must be an interesting journey for you. I'm so glad that you actually took the time out of your busy schedule to speak to us today. And obviously we've come to the end of our podcast now. So thank you so much, Lisa. We definitely appreciate this and you speaking to us today. Before we end the session, obviously, do you have any final thoughts you'd like to share with us and the viewers watching this?
Oh, I think I've covered everything.
Brilliant. All right. So I would also like to thank our listeners for tuning into this podcast today. If you're interested in marketing technology that helps retail brands grow online, do check out www.alavi.ai or head over to our YouTube channel for more content. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.